Hello from Seoul. You might ask yourself, what's the best rice bowl? Yeah, that's a tough question. But if you have some steak in your fridge, trust me, this will be the perfect solution. Today, we're gonna be making a steak rice bowl. But this is not just steak over the rice. We're gonna make it with perfectly cooked steak and a special sauce that's packed with umami. And there's even a creaminess from an egg yolk. Yes, this is gonna be the perfect rice bowl that you dreamed of. So buckle up! For this, you will need some steak, onion, green onions, eggs, and some rice. That's it! So simple, right? But if you're a big fan of wasabi, don't forget to grab some. It's gonna add a little bit of kick and that's gonna take this dish to the next level. Alright, let's prep our steak first. Here, I've got 1 pound or 450 grams of New York strips, but you can also use any kind of steak you like. So like I always say, just use what you have in your fridge. That's the best. Alright, to remove any moisture on the outside, let's pat it dry with some paper towels and season it with salt and pepper. Make sure you season all sides, but don't go heavy on the salt right now because the best part of this dish is our sauce. And that's gonna take care of all the seasoning. And just so you know, I'll be cooking my steak with the reverse searing method. And that's why I brought this kind of a thick steak. But pan frying is also gonna be a great option. So just go with whatever works for you. Everything will be fantastic. Once you've inserted the thermometer into the center of the steak, place it on a cooling rack. And then pop it in the oven that's been preheated to 95 degrees Celsius or 200 degrees Fahrenheit. From now, we're gonna cook until the internal temperature reaches 48 degrees Celsius or 118 degrees Fahrenheit. Keep in mind that cooking time can vary depending on the thickness of your steak and its starting temperature. So make sure you keep checking it while it's cooking. While the steak is having a great time in there, let me take a moment to thank our sponsor, REVERSE-SEAR. If you're passionate about cooking at home but haven't tried the wireless probe thermometer yet, you're missing out on a key ingredient that can take your dishes to the next level. Trust me, this is an absolute game changer in the kitchen. REVERSE-SEAR isn't just any thermometer. It's got a 6-sensor probe that tracks both the internal and ambient temperatures with pinpoint accuracy. So whether you're roasting, grilling, or slow cooking, it's got you covered. Also, it calculates the remaining cooking time with impressive accuracy, so you always know exactly how much time is left. Yes, it doesn't just monitor your food, it does the math for you. One of the coolest features of REVERSE-SEAR is the device base. It's not just a pretty display. Whether you're in the kitchen or out in the backyard, you can monitor your cook from anywhere. This is a significant improvement from other wireless probes that either don't have a display or make you depend entirely on a mobile app. If you want to experience the best meat thermometer for yourself and take your cooking to the next level, check out the link in the description and use the code AaronClaire. You will get 10% discount on your purchase. Thanks REVERSE for sponsoring this video. Alright, let's prep our vegetables. First, thinly slice half an onion. These are not just for garnish. We're gonna put them in the sauce and cook them down to bring out all the flavor and make it part of our sauce. So to cut down your cooking time, slice them as thinly as you can. Next, thinly slice 2 green onions. These are just gonna be used as a garnish today, so you don't have to separate the whites and greens. This time, let's make the sauce. In a small container, add 5 tablespoons of soy sauce, half a tablespoon of oyster sauce, 1.5 tablespoons of sugar, 3 tablespoons of mirin, 2 tablespoons of sake, and give it a good mix. What? No sake in your house? Don't worry about it. You can substitute with dry sherry or even plain water. Of course, without sake, you'll be lack of that nice fragrance and depth of flavor, but it's still gonna taste fantastic, so you don't have to worry about it. By the way, we have all the instructions and a list of ingredients on our blog, aaronandclaire.com, so please visit here if you need a written recipe. Alright, our steak has reached its target temperature. Let's take it out and see how it looks. It doesn't look appetizing yet, right? But don't worry about it. After a quick sear, you will get to see the gorgeous steak that you've dreamed of. So to do that, Add a generous amount of oil to a pan and heat it over medium-high heat. Once it's super hot, add the steak and sear each side for 30 seconds to 1 minute. Since the outside of the steak is pretty dry, you will sear and brown very quickly. Here, you can throw in some butter, garlic, herbs, and baste. But since we have the ultimate umami sauce, let's just skip that part and let it rest for about 2 to 3 minutes. Now in the same pan over medium-low heat, add the onions and saute for about 1 minute. Once they smell real nice, pour in your sauce and let it simmer for about 3 minutes. When the sauce has reduced and thickened up a little bit, your sauce and onions are ready to go. Let's separate the onions and the sauce. Couldn't be any easier, right? Finally, it's time to slice up our perfectly cooked steak. How does it look? Absolutely stunning, right? I'm just thinly slicing it for an easy bite, but you can also cut it into thick slices or even cubes if you want. So show me your style. Everything will be fantastic. Alright, we're set. Let's plate this up. For one serving, put 1 cup of freshly cooked rice into a bowl and top it with half of the onions. And then nicely arrange half of the steak on top of the rice and drizzle on a little bit of sauce. That's it. But if you're not serving a salad on the side, adding a handful of fresh greens like this can be a great option. Once that's done, gently place an egg yolk on top. And last but not least, let's finish it off with a little bit of wasabi and green onions. Here, some people might say, Aaron, having a raw egg yolk can be dangerous. Yes, you're right, but for some reason, you don't have to worry about salmonella infection in Korea. So if you're not 100% sure about the freshness of your egg, I recommend replacing with a poached egg or soft boiled egg. Trust me, that creamy egg yolk adds another layer of flavor, so you'll be an experience that you don't want to miss out on. Alright, our steak rice bowl is ready. Let's go to our taste tester. Claire.
Oh my god! 야, 진짜 너무 예쁜 거 아니야? I'm not overacting. I'm not exaggerating. It looks insane in person. 이렇게 특히나 프레젠테이션에 공을 들인 음식 같은 경우는 고맙다는 의미로 먼저 한번 사진을 찍고 먹어야 돼. 감사함의 표현이지. 와, see? I can't wait to try. Let's give it a try. 스테이크만 먼저. Look at this! 의도한 건 아니지만 자연스럽게 잘 흘렀어. 와사비랑 이런 거 아무것도 안 하고 요것만 온전히 즐겨볼게요. Cheers! 와, 속에 있는 육즙은 육즙대로 보존이 되어 있고 겉은 또 크러스트가 샥 이루어져 있는 게 너무 맛있어. 스테이크 자체만으로는 굉장히 완벽한데? 맛있어. 밥이 아직 필요가 없을 정도로 이거만 조금만 더 먹고 싶어. 원래 나는 딱 먹자마자 무조건 밥을 찾잖아. 근데 스테이크 너무 맛있으니까 스테이크만 또 먹고 싶어. 이번엔 와사비를 살짝 올려가지고. 자, 와사비를 조금만 추가해서 먹으니까 그 와사비만의 그 향긋함이 입에 샥 퍼지면서 킥 역할을 척척척 해주고 맛을 쫙 끌어주네. 이번엔 드디어 속에 숨어있는 이 녀석들. 소스에 잘 졸여진 양파랑 밥이랑 같이 먹어볼게요. 그 간장의 맛이랑 약간 그 미림이라든지 사케라든지 이런 데서 오는 그 향긋함이 양파에 싹 그냥 온전히 녹아져 있어가지고 기분 좋게 달큰하면서 너무 맛있어. 와, 이거 진짜 중독적이야. 밥을 조금 넣고 근데 이걸 한 입에 넣을 수 있는지는 의문이야. 일단 올려볼게. 거기다가 와사비까지 쫙 해가지고 치얼스! 컴플레인 할 게 하나도 없고 그냥 너무 맛있다. 그냥 온전히 이 순간을 즐기고 싶은 그 마음뿐이네요. Hope you guys try! Enjoy!
Today, I showed you how to make a steak rice bowl. How was it? It's a simple but super satisfying meal, right? Perfectly cooked steak, super flavorful sauce, and freshly cooked rice. I'm pretty sure it's one of the best combinations in the world. So please give it a try. Whether it's a weekend or even a weekday when you need to fill up your energy, this is gonna be the best option for you. Alright, this is it for today, and I'll see you next time.